Hello and welcome to our very first training of the International Youth Parliament. I am so happy. I can't even tell you how happy I am. My heart is just beating so fast and I'm so happy to have you all here. I love you. I love your faces. I love that you have such beautiful hearts, that you have decided that this is something that you're going to commit to. And you know our mission. Our mission is to increase the level of love, prosperity, and peace on earth. And with everyone doing that, we can. And actually, with every good thought, every positive word, every beautiful action, we are increasing the level of love. And so we can do this every day in our own lives, in our hearts, in our individual lives, in our families, in our communities, in our schools, and then, of course, in our nations and then the world. So I'm honored to be with you. I love each one of you so much and I appreciate you. Now, I have an agenda. We're going to go through a lot of things. The first, I'm going to introduce myself and our beautiful executive director, Robin LeBron, and then we're going to talk about how did the International Youth Parliament even begin? How did this start? And I'll give you just a brief overview of that. This is our first official call with all of our ambassadors and delegates, that I felt like we needed to do that a bit. And then we're going to talk about what is this all about? And I'll share with you, what is the International Youth Parliament and what are we going to be doing moving forward? And then I'm going to teach you about leadership today. And that's the main part of our training today, is you're going to learn a lot about how to be a magnificent leader. And then I'm going to end with my favorite poem in all the world that actually talks about being a very strong individual, a very powerful leader. So I wanted to show you a picture because my very, very first and most important role in all the world is being a mother. My most important role. And I own companies and I'm the CEO and I'm the founder of different entities. But my most important thing is being a mother and a wife. And I've been married 48 years. So I don't know why I put manage the participants and I'm hearing some background. So please mute yourself. All right, here's my family. Those are my children and their children. So I have 8 children and 24 grandchildren and a wonderful husband of 48 years. And I absolutely am so grateful, so blessed to have such a big, beautiful, loving, kind family. And so I do a lot of things internationally, teaching, but the most important thing, and I say this to all of you, as you become mothers and fathers in the future, that needs to be your highest priority, is your family. I know you already know that, but I couldn't teach about the things we're going to talk about and introduce myself without introducing, just mentioning my family and how important they are in my life. So Robin, if you want to unmute yourself and just say hello. They've been emailing this beautiful woman for so long. I just want to tell you how much I love her. I appreciate her. She loves each one of you so much, and she spends so many hours thinking about you and how to best serve you. And she's running this whole National Youth Parliament. She's our executive director, Robin LeBron.
Well, I'm so excited to sort of meet you in person as close as we can get. And she's right. I spend all my time thinking about you guys. I wake up in the middle of the night and think, oh, I have to do this. And, with the time difference, I get messages in the middle of the night and so forth. So you're a huge part of my life. My kids are all grown and moved away. So I guess you're my kids now. So please feel free to reach out to me for anything, and I will do my best to try and help you. And I'm really proud of all of you. I mean, your bios and the things you've said are just amazing. I'm just so pleased that you're with us, and I couldn't be prouder.
Yes, and thank you so much, Robin. And then Jackie Zocoli is on the line. She's on our board of advisors, and she loves you too. Jackie, do you want to just say hi to this beautiful group?
I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay. I am so delighted to be part of this. It continues to keep me going. I don't do all the work that Robin does, but I am here to connect you people. I will eventually get in sync with all of you and be able to connect you country to country and cause by cause besides what you're doing with us. So keep me in mind for that as a global collaborator. Thank you so much, Paula.
You're so welcome. And Jackie and I are working also on this beautiful big project of International Women's Day, where we'll be live streaming out. And we'll tell you more about that. It's not till next March, but it'll be in Arizona, 10,000 women in a coliseum, and then live streaming out to women's organizations in 195 nations. Also on the line is Thomas Carlissi, and he is magnificent. He's going to be one of our faculty. He is one of our faculty members, and he is also on our board of advisors. And Thomas has incredible content for young people for decades. I love saying that because we can say that, those of us who are experienced. So Thomas, do you want to say hello?
Yes, I just want to say hello to all of you. I want to just say how much I just so respect the initiative of thinking about how to enhance love and prosperity and peace and community. And what I want to do is say it's just a joy to me to be meeting with you because you are the leaders. You know, you are the initiators that are going to impact so many people. And I'm looking forward to seeing how I can bring value-added resources. I'm going to say to a couple of you, we're doing a pilot online program to enhance peace and conflict prevention resolution skills right now in a pilot, and Omar and Kelvin and a few others are experiencing that, and I'm hoping that in the future more of you might want to be able to do something like that as part of positive peace and prosperity. All the best.
Thank you so much, Thomas. Thank you so much. And you'll be hearing a lot from him. He is such an amazing expert and heart-centered gentleman. So I wanted to tell you, how did this all start? Some of you know, so I'll tell the story quickly, but I was in Morocco with Najet Anwar and her husband. Her husband works with the Ministry of Interior, and Najet has her wonderful nonprofit herself. And their son, and I don't know if he's on the line, Gali Anwar. And so we were there at dinner. Is Gali on the line? Gali, are you there? I think he's in class right now, and that he couldn't get out of, but nonetheless, he is our first president. I flew him here to the world.
Hello.
Oh, Gali, are you there? Gali?
Hello. I'm
Hello.
Yannick from. Hello.
Hello, sweetheart. Hello,
I
sweetheart.
am. I'm Yannick from DR Congo.
Okay, wonderful. We're so glad you're with us. So we are on this line, and I'm training. So Yannick, go ahead and just mute yourself and then just listen carefully. Thank you so much for joining us. So I don't think Gali's on the line, but he came to the World Trade Center, and he became a beautiful ceremony, the first president of the International Youth Parliament. And I know he's sad to not be on the line. But what I wanted to tell you about is the beginning. And so we were at dinner, and Najd Anwar, who has this, we're in Morocco, in Agadir, and she's it's a powerful couple, wonderful, doing magnificent things in their community in Morocco. And she said, in the Kingdom of Morocco, then we have a youth advisory group, and they talk to the king and give them their opinions about, how they can make Morocco better, and seeing the problems, what they think would be solutions for the problems of Morocco. And she turned to me and she said, Dr. Paula, you should start an international youth parliament. And some people call them goosebumps. I call them true bumps. When something is said to you and it validates it, it touches your spirit and your soul, and you know that this is something that you need to do. And at the time I'm thinking, no, I'm doing so many things. And I've already got all these things going in my life. Please, God, is this really something I need to do? And it absolutely was. And so I came back and started really researching how could we make the biggest difference in the world? How can we do that? Well, it's by working on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. Why? Because 195 nations already spent thousands of hours deciding these are the biggest problems on the planet. And these are the ones that we need to fix. We need to find solutions for. And I thought, this is what we need to do. But first, our youth need to be trained. They need to be trained in leadership skills and conflict resolution and negotiation and communication. And then my vision is that then when you are ready, then we'll start working on these sustainable development goals. And the first one is what? Do you know what the first one is? No poverty. That's a big goal, right? And so when you're working on no poverty, then what do? You go into your nations and you connect with the NGOs, the non-government organizations that are already working on that. So you're going to be trained, because you are, my darling ones, you are the leaders in your nations. We want you to be leading your nations. Yes, that's what we're training for, to step up and be leaders in your nations. And we're calling guardians of what? The guardians of tomorrow, because tomorrow is yours. Yes, in 20 years, I'll be 90 years old. In 20 years, how old will you be? You'll be going so strong. Well, I will too. But, but what we know is that you, our youth in all these nations, are the ones who are going to be carrying the torch. You're going to be leading. You're going to be finding solutions for the problems. You're going to be collaborating with each other. And we want you to be friends. We want the wonderful young people, the International Youth Parliament ambassadors and delegates from every nation to meet the other nations, like from Saudi Arabia or fill in the blank, the Philippines, Singapore, Netherlands, Finland, Russia. You all need to know each other, and you will. So then we started this and we said, what should it be? And Robin and I have created this, but it needs to be 4 young people from every nation, because why should it not be as big as, like, should Russia have more because they have more land mass? Should China have more? We don't think so. We think that every nation is just as important as other nations. Our smallest nations are just as important. So we're choosing 4, 2 young women, young men from ages 16 to 30. Hit your mute button, sweetheart. Everybody hit the mute. Thank you. No, hit your mute. There still is a little background. Hit the mute, M-U-T-E, over in the left-hand corner so we won't hear. All right. So we want you to become friends because, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to go back to manage participants. I'm sorry. I need to do this and click on mute all. So we mute all. Okay. Did that do it? Yeah. No, I still hear. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, we need to just be sure that we don't have background noise, because this is being recorded. I don't know how to do it then. I'm hitting mute all, and we still have background noise. I'm just gonna have to keep going. All right, so it's exciting to know the possibilities. This is not just for this year. This is for many, many years to come. So some of you who are older than 30, then you're delegates. And those who are 16 to 30 and have been vetted, and we're so careful in finding the most qualified ones, then you have been ambassadors, but we can only have 4. So if there are already 4 in your nation, no matter how qualified you are, you're a delegate. And then when the ambassadors, we just have those 4 positions, but then we can have more delegates. All right, let's keep going. So the exciting thing is that this has started. We are into it, and we have Robin. How many ambassadors and delegates do we have right now? You could just show me by your hands. How many ambassadors and delegates right now?
We have about 50 ambassadors and 38 delegates, but we have almost 200 applicants that are still going through the process.
200 applicants, 50 ambassadors, and 30 plus delegates. So congratulations to those who have applied, and you're on the line. So I just congratulate you. But it's not just a title. It's a responsibility. There are things that you're going to be doing, and I'm so glad you're on this line. I'm happy for those who are listening to the recording. But I would way rather have you live, because oh my goodness, in other times, we're going to be able to have discussion going on. I hit mute all, but I just don't understand why there's still background noise. It's kind of bothering me. So I'm taking that off and saying no. Okay. All right, darling. So now really help you understand.
Maybe you can talk to Abdullah. Abdullah is the one who's still.
Abdullah?
No. Yeah.
On Abdullah? Okay, wonderful. Thank you. In my screen, it shows that he's already muted. All right, darlings. So I want to talk about the 5 things, and they all start with E's, and you don't need to take any notes here, and you don't need to take notes when I talk about the leadership. Robin's going to be sending you everything. So what is the overall objective? What are we doing? We have our beautiful mission, but the young people in every nation, and I know you know this, they want a peaceful world. You all do, where you and your posterity can thrive, not suffer. And this is our focus. This is what we're doing. So listen carefully to these 5 E's, because this is the International Youth Parliament. Number 1, we are establishing a platform on which the voices of 1.8 billion young people today, they can be heard. You're representing all the youth in your nation, and you will be making decisions that will affect their lives and everyone in your nation. That will come. So establishing a platform upon which the voices of 1.8 billion young people can be heard, and upon which leaders worldwide can receive excellent ideas from the guardians of tomorrow. That's you. You are going to be taking the declarations that we will create. So we're going to study each one of the SDGs. The first one is no poverty. So we're going to be working on that. And then we're going to create a declaration, something that you all vote. The 4 ambassadors will vote. That's important. And the delegates will support, but the ambassadors will vote on the wording of our declaration on that SDG. Then you will take that wording, and everyone, the delegates, all of you, will take what we decided the youth of the world believe will be a solution for no poverty. And we'll have lots of ideas, right? After we get into this and study it, and you'll come to this declaration. Then what are we going to do with it? We are going to get it out to the world through social media in ways that you can't even imagine. We're going to do everything. We're going to get it out to not just social media online, but newspapers, magazines, press releases in every nation. And this is something that when you make your decisions about how we can have better peace, or whatever that is, less poverty, whatever the SDG is, then we're going to, all of us, be united in our message to the world. And it'll be throughout the world, and people will know you and know about our progress that we're making on solutions for the wonderful the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm not sure what that was, but I'm just going to keep going. Number 2. So this is the second E. Embrace what? Inclusivity. Yes. As the IYP includes all qualified young adults from every nation and collaborates, and that's a key. We're all about collaboration with individuals and organizations worldwide to create our solutions. And there'll be solutions, Because what works in Uganda, Gilbert's on the line, he's one of our ambassadors in Uganda. So, I mean, what works there might not work in England, right? It might not work exactly that way in Beijing, China. But the beauty is you're going to be working with people in your nation to adjust our solutions to how it works in every nation. Yeah, so they'll be diverse solutions. All right, number 3 is educate. We are educating our international youth ambassadors and delegates. And we're teaching you principles of leadership, like I said, collaboration, communication, the things I mentioned. Number 4, empower. Empower you to do what? Create problem prevention solutions and then wonderful strategies and collaborative solutions that you will share with the people in your nations and working with the NGOs in your nations. All this is the future. I'm giving you an overall view of what we're doing with our International Youth Parliament. And then the 5th E is encourage you. And we're here to support you and love you and teach you and help you because we know you can be the leaders of your nations, the guardians of tomorrow. So I wrote this, and I'd like to share with you this. We believe today's problems will be minimized in direct proportion to the percentage of educated men, young adults who are working to find local, regional, and national and international solutions and participating in not just saying this is a solution, but the implementation of the solutions through collaboration with your NGOs. I'm hoping you're understanding this, and I'm hoping you're really focusing on what I'm saying. That it's not just, here's our solution, somebody go do that. We're going to come up with the solutions, then you're going to connect with the NGOs, the non-government organizations, and your governments to say, here's what the youth of this nation believe, and here's how we can help move the needle, progress, move forward. All right. Then I say today's youth are connected to each other like never before, and you're aware of global issues right now. And I say they want to participate in discussions and participate in the discussions that we're all facing, okay, and contribute their ideas. So the International Youth Parliament is a platform on which your voices can be heard, my darlings, and they can be amplified, and then they can be actively and thoughtfully considered by the adults and the leaders in your nation. You're going to take it to them. And I say yes in English and Arabic and Spanish and Hindi and French and Punjabi and hundreds of other languages. Our youth are talking with each other and with adults who will listen about their concerns and their dreams, better future. They're worried. They're sometimes frightened. They want a peaceful world and they have good ideas, but who is listening? It's time to listen. What we're birthing is an international youth parliament for young people from 195 nations, 780 youth who will come together to work on the 17 Sustainable Development Goals in ways that no one ever has. Yes, 780 brilliant, passionate, globally minded, and solution-focused young people who will represent every nation on the planet. Let's teach them. Let's include them. Let's support them. Let's love and appreciate them. But mostly, let's listen to them. Really listen, for they can be our guardians of tomorrow. So that's you, my friends. I'm describing you. All right, now I'd like to begin the training, and I want to let you know that we are going to all get together in a conference. I would like that to be in Morocco, and it will be in Morocco. But here's our one big challenge. You ready? We don't have the funds right now to put on a conference. You don't have the funds to come to the conference. We all are looking for donations, contributions, wonderful people who will see what we're doing and will say, oh my goodness, we want to contribute to this. We are a nonprofit, and everything that's contributed in the United States and many other nations, you could write it off your taxes. You don't have to pay taxes on what's contributed. But what we need is funding, and I'm working on that very diligently. But a lot of you have said, when are we going to have our first event? And we were going to have it in February. But we thought we might be getting funding, and we haven't got it yet. So as soon as we do, I'll let you know. And then our plan is to help you get there. Why Africa? Because, as you well know, it's very difficult for many in Africa, to get visas to come to the United States, right? Or to go to Canada or anywhere. And so having it in Africa, I can come easily there. A lot of people can come easily to Africa, but many times the young people and the people in Africa can't go other places right now. It's just the way the world is. And we're not angry about it. We just said this is the way it is. So started in Morocco, the idea, we'd like to have our first regional event with a regional event in Africa. Then our dream, of course, is to, as soon as we have enough funding, to have a global event and we'll have all 780 and the delegates too, all coming to a beautiful conference with everyone. That's going to happen, but it will need funding. All right. So I'd like you to listen very carefully as I share with you, and Robin is going to send this to you, so you don't need to take notes, but I'd like you to really carefully listen. Are you listening? Okay. So I wrote this, and it's the 10 qualities of highly influential leaders. You are leaders, and you have to think of yourself as a leader. You are in a position of leadership as a participant in the International Youth Parliament, as an ambassador, and as a delegate. So see yourself as a leader. Now here are the 10 qualities. You ready? Number 1, stand up, step forward, and lead out fearlessly. The fearlessly, confidently, that's an important part. And I said, you already are a leader. You don't need to wait for someone to give you permission to lead. And if you need permission, I'm giving you permission right now. You're a leader, so you've got permission, right? But you don't need that. Decide where you're going, who you want to go with, and start moving. So after this training, after this call, after this time that we're together, this first training, this first meeting, then I'd like you to think, how can I be proactive? How can I do something? What I'd like you to do, and we'll remind you of this, is I want you to search United Nations SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs. You just have to put in SDGs. You don't even have to write United Nations. SDGs, and up they'll come. There are 17 of them, and we've given them to you, but some of you don't have them. I'd like you to know what they are. We're going to focus on number 1, then number 2. We're going to take them in order, okay? But know about it. Learn about it, okay? And we'll be in touch with you about that. Okay, number 2. These are the 10 qualities of highly influential leaders. Number 2, love those you lead and serve. If you don't love other people, only want to serve them, then you don't have a place with us. I'm sorry to say that kind of harshly, but you don't belong here. If you don't love mankind, if you don't love the people on this call, if you don't love the idea of serving and making a difference in the world, you wouldn't even be here. But I want you to know that if you don't have a genuine love, you're in the wrong place, because we love. And we want you to love yourself and to love others with all of your heart. So this number 2 is love those you lead and those you serve. And are the people you lead, are you serving them? Absolutely. Absolutely. So I said, think loving thoughts, say loving words, and do loving deeds. Don't be afraid. The world needs more love. And don't think, oh, we can't talk about that. People will, they'll make fun of us. You stand confidently and you say, I love mankind. I love myself. I love my family. I love everyone in this world. You might not agree with what they do. They're your brothers and your sisters.
Okay.
If you don't really love them, then what are you doing? All right. So when you sincerely love others, they'll feel it and they'll follow. Number 3, have a great vision and collaborate with others. So with a great vision and superb goals that attract others, you can touch hearts and you can change lives on a massive scale. We're talking your entire nation. You are going to be affecting them and cumulatively the whole world. Reach out to connect and collaborate with other like-minded, like-hearted leaders. Collaboration is a key to success. So I've connected and through collaboration put on events in 152 countries. I've personally been to 37. I've been to India 7 times, many of them many times. I know that collaboration is the key. All right. So number 4. Oh, we still have some background noise. Aw, I don't know how to do this. I've clicked on mute all and it just doesn't seem to work. All right, I'll just keep doing that and hoping that it works. All right, darlings, number 4, listen to your heart, but don't ignore your followers, what they're telling you to do. Your heart will always tell you where to go. That's your spirit, that's your soul, and where not to go. But you must listen carefully. And sometimes you just need to be still and meditate and ponder. My friends in India know a lot about meditation. Pay attention, though, to the voices of the people you're leading. Don't ignore them. Listen to them. However, in the end, your heart, your soul, your gut, you know what I'm saying? That is what you need to follow. All right, number 5, make wise decisions so you lead in the right direction. Yeah, they'll follow you right down the wrong path. If you don't choose the right, you got all these followers, they're going to go the wrong direction. So it's real important. Use a variety of resources to make your decisions. Speak to others who have walked your path and study history and research. Do a lot of research. This is like real light on me. I think the sun is right. Is it okay or should I shut that blind? Is it all right? Okay, so I always invite people to ask questions. And I know you're all very good at this, but ask people, what is your idea about how we can solve the poverty issue? We're going to talk about this a lot, but start asking now. Ask your friends, ask your mentors, ask your people if you go to church, ask those wonderful people. Say, how do you think we could do that in our neighborhood, in our community, in our nation? And get their ideas, because you're going to be in a position of making big decisions about your nation. So start asking now. We're working on no poverty, the first SDG, and we'll start that at the first of the year. Until the first of the year, we're going to be doing this training. All right. And keep your hearts open to new information. Don't just rely on what you and your little circle know. Reach out, Google, search, question. Number 6, and I love this one. Be flexible and cheerful. Your ability to just not sweat the small stuff and not get uptight about things, little things, don't make them big things. Your ability to be flexible and cheerful is an indication of your strength of character. It's true. If you're a real leader, you don't even have time to mess with the little things that suck your time and your energy. So live above this and don't get offended easily. Don't take that into your soul. If somebody says something unkind, you just say, in your heart, you just think, well, they don't know me very well. I need to get to know them better. Or, that's their opinion And that doesn't change how I feel about myself. Be strong, but don't get offended. Yeah, be flexible, cheerful. Number 7, this is important. Take care of yourself. You know, when leaders run too fast, and, you know, my mother used to say, and she passed when she was 92 a couple of years ago, but she said, you know, Paula, you can't fly with the eagles in the daytime. And so, no, you can't fly with the owls at night and soar with the eagles in the daytime. You can't fly with the owls at night. That's work all night. And soar with the eagles in the daytime. So I choose to get up between 5 and 6 a.m. and I go to bed at about 10 o'clock. And then I just sleep hard and fast and get up and work out and take my vitamins and eat healthfully and keep going. And I really invite you to consider, what are you eating? Are you moving and exercising? Are you thinking positive thoughts? And sometimes leaders ignore their bodies. And what happens? They burn out. I want to be going hard and strong at 100. And that's 30 years from now. What is it for you? 70 years for some of you, 80 years for some of you, 90 years. You've got a long time to carry on this legacy, but you won't be able to do it very well if you're sick or if you don't have energy. So do the things, take care of your bodies, all right? And do something you love every day. That's just a treat for you. So in the evenings, I work really hard till about 7 p.m. And then I hold my husband's hand and we usually watch a show or we go somewhere. But I'm done at 7 p.m. And people who know me well, they don't call me after that time because I don't answer the phone. That's me time and my family's time. So think about your schedule. Now, a lot of you are in school, and I understand that. And this is not the way it's going to be later. But don't waste time on social media. That's a time sucker. You could be learning so much. You could be growing. You could be taking more classes. You could be walking. You could be thinking and pondering and creating. I've written 7 books. You know, when did I do that? I have 8 children. You have to decide, what do I want most in my life? And then don't waste time. Yeah. Okay, number 8, be a thought leader. And I say in your field, and a lot of you are, you know, are older. And so I continue that, in your field, in your industry. If if you are really, if your passion is health and fitness, then be a thought leader and think unique thoughts and create unique new things that are relevant. Don't just always be mimicking and repeating what others have said. Create your own stuff. And you can start doing that now. Look at some of the great leaders of the world. They were young when they started thinking very original thoughts. Okay? Number 9, and this is my favorite. Let your light shine. Yes, you all have a beautiful light. What does that mean? So it means standing confidently and joyfully sharing who you are with others, shining your light so that then they are able to improve their lives. It's all about service. And I say, you are being watched carefully. Your actions, your decisions are being judged, right? So shine your light as brightly as possible. And part of that means that you're going to smile. You're going to smile more. You know, let me see some smiles here. Come on. Let's see some smiles. Big smiles, teeth. Yeah. There we go. I love it. You see how the whole energy of this call just went up. And it's just about, you look at me right now. And I'm talking now. And I'm not smiling. And my voice isn't energetic. And I'm very boring. And I don't look very good. But then I change because this is who I really am. And I smile when I talk. And I know that you might think, well, what difference does it make? It makes a big difference. How can you shine with a frown on? You can't do it. So just get in the habit of making the sides of the mouth go up. And it works really well. All right. So the last one is give. As a leader, you're going to give and you're going to give and you're going to give. But never what? Never give up. And I'll tell you a quick story. So Winston Churchill, you know, he was a prime minister of England during World War II, and he was very famous, and he spoke at a college graduation. And they gave this long introduction of all the things that Winston Churchill had done, how amazing he was. And then he walked up to the podium, and thousands of young people, and the parents were all just, what is he going to say? What is he going to say? And they were just listening intently. And he said, never, never, never give up. And he sat down. That was it. 4 words. And it's the most famous graduation presentation ever because they never forgot it. How many presentations have you heard that you've forgotten? So I just want to say that even when you're discouraged and you're tired and you're sad and you're confused, you can be all those things, but just don't give up. You wake up the next day and you do it again. Because you know who's going to help you if you ask? Your God. And I'm not ashamed ever to say that. And with your hand in God's hands, you can create miracles. You can be the leaders of your nation. You can be powerful, and you can change things on a massive scale, one step at a time. It begins with believing. Dale Carnegie said, believe that you'll succeed. Believe it firmly, and then you'll do what is necessary to bring success about. So I love that. Sweet darling. So now I want to tell you about something very exciting. There's a man who wrote a book in America. He's an American, and it's How to Win Friends and Influence People. And it's one of the most famous books ever written in America. And you may have heard of it. Raise your hand if you've heard of that book. Raise your hand. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Some have, some haven't. His name is Dale Carnegie, right there. Well, he passed away quite a while ago, but the people kept on with what he had. And what he did is he created a whole training systems that cost thousands of dollars. And they're modules. There are things that they sell them for thousands of dollars. And so I called them up. I called the Dale Carnegie Leadership, or Dale Carnegie, or what's it called? Institute, the Dale Carnegie Institute. And I said, this is what we're doing. And I'm going to have these young people from all over the world. And we don't have funds for our nonprofit to pay you to get some of this material. And they don't have funds to pay you for this material. And I, for a long time, and they asked me a lot of questions. And then they said, you can use this for free, just for these young people, just for you. So we are honored, and you're going to receive these mail in your inbox. Robin has the first one. Okay, someone's on the phone. Click mute. Mute. Okay, we're going to try this again. I'm being flexible and cheerful. You see this? So we're clicking mute all again. We got to figure this out, Robin, for our next call so that it does. I don't know how to do this. I just keep clicking mute all. Okay, so this is a leadership guide for first time, and they said managers, but I crossed it out and said leaders. So every time when you get this, every time you see the word manager, what are you going to put in? Leader. Just think leader. So it's a leadership guide, and I'm going to share just a bit of it with you. And then I'm going to read you my favorite poem in all the world. And then you're going to get this and you'll read the whole thing. Can you read the whole thing? Raise your hand if you promise to read the whole thing. Can you hear me? You're going to read the whole thing. Okay, thanks. So, okay, so it says leadership skills for first-time leaders. Do you know what a manager is? A manager is somebody who's a leader, right? So they say manager, I say leader, but a manager is a leader. So imagine this. You're employed in a company, and you're an employee, And then they see what great work you've done. And then they say, we want you to be a manager. That means you're going to go from doing a lot of the work to leading others who are doing a lot of the work. You see? And so one of the things that they say, congratulations, you're now in a leadership position. Chances are you've been chosen for this role. And you've all been chosen for this role to deliver great results, exemplary performance. And
Hello.
you're ready to take on this new challenge and
Hello.
run toward success. Hello, sweetheart. Just click mute. I'm doing a training on leadership right now. So it says that Dale Carnegie, this wonderful man who created this, identified 3 areas of focus that will help new leaders avoid problems. Number 1, self-awareness. We were just talking about that. Understand means to be a leader. Self-awareness. Know who you are. Number 2, be others focused. I love this. Focus on them, the people you're leading. Be others focused instead of what? Instead of self-focused, self-centered. Prioritize your focus on creating success for others. When you are focused on creating success for others, you're a great leader. All right? The other one is accountability. Hold yourself and the people you lead accountable for their results. We're going to ask you to do some things. I already asked you to do something. What was it? Learn about the SDG. Learn about these 17 SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, and especially about poverty. Okay? And then our next call, we're going to talk about that. And I'll know who did this. And you're going to be doing some of the talking. It's not going to be just Dr. Paula. Okay? So then it talks about the leader's mindset. And then it talks a lot of things that I'm not going to go through because you're going to get this. Now, this is in English, but it's all right. You all speak English. All right. So I want to give you some, they have here how a leader speaks and how a follower speaks. And I love that. How a leader speaks, what you would say as a leader and what you would say as a follower. And this is why I love Dale Carnegie's material, because it's very easy to understand and it's very applicable to our lives. I apologize to everyone that I keep clicking mute all and it's just not working, so I apologize. So for example, a team member needs guidance and direction. A leader plans strategies, prioritizes, and he leads them in the right direction. So this wonderful packet that you're going to receive, it talks about not just how to think as a leader, but what to say as a leader. So it's right here. You're all going to get it, and I would like to give this to you as your homework. And Robin, when are we meeting again, darling? Do we remember? Just unmute.
You haven't given me the full schedule yet.
Okay. The next time we meet, we'll send this out. That's true. I haven't. So we'll send this out. But by the time we meet again, I need you all to have read this. Can you commit in your heart to have gone through this leadership module? Thank you. A lot of the things that we're going to be doing, since you're leaders, you're going to be doing and then coming and discussing it. For example, I'm going to say, what did you learn that you like the best from this leadership guide that I sent you? And you're going to tell me. If you haven't read it, you won't know. If you haven't read it, then you're wasting your time and you're wasting my time because my time is precious, your time is precious. But I am not going to give you every little piece of this. I'm going to give you ideas, then give you things to study. You're going to study it. Then we're going to come back and discuss it and learn from each other. And that's the best plan. All right, my darlings, we are now 10 minutes from the time that we are going to close. And as I share this poem, it's in my book, Solutions for Families. This is one of my 7 books. It's got this poem, and it's my favorite poem. And I'd like you to listen very, very carefully and think about this in your lives. It's by Rudyard Kipling, and it was written about 100 years ago. Are you ready? It's called If. I-F. If. If you can keep your head and all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, you can trust yourself when all men doubt you. Make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or being lied about, don't deal in lies. Or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream, but not make dreams your master. If you can think, and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those 2 impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to broken, and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings and risk it on one turn of pitch and toss and lose, and start again at your beginnings, but never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and your nerve and your sinew to serve their turn long after they're gone, and so hold on when there's nothing in you except the will which says to you, hold on. If you could talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count with you, but none too much, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. And of course, that goes for our daughters. We always include our sweet women. My sweet, sweet young people, you have come together at a time when the world is fraught with conflict, when there are wars on every side, where there's not a single nation of all the nations where there aren't great challenges. You have come together in an international youth parliament for such a time as this. I applaud you for your hearts. I applaud our sweet leaders, and many will come, and they will teach you, and they will help you, and they will guide you. But at the end of the day, you must first believe in yourself. Believe that you can be a mighty leader in your nation, in your community, in your neighborhood, in your home. You must believe that the world can become a better place. And with all good people working together and united and loving each other, linking our hands and moving forward together, we can, without a shadow of a doubt, we can increase the level of love, prosperity, and peace on earth.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me. And there we have another hello. Hello. All right, my darlings. Now, the next time we meet, you'll be doing a lot of the talking. This is the only time that it's talking. Thank you for joining us. We'll send you this recording so you can have it. You can listen later, and we'll send you the material so that you can study them. And I will see you again on our next call. I love you. God bless.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. Say goodbye to each other. Jazz hands.
Bye,
Unmute.
everybody.
I'm going to unmute all.
Bye bye.
There we go.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Bye. It was nice hearing from you.
I am one of activists for the promotion and entrepreneurship.
Lagi dia juga